when you're thinking about digital signage and putting technology into a physical space, I think you really have to think about the story first. What is the story you're telling, and what content exists in order to help you tell that story?
The tip I would give to anyone trying to establish a digital out-of-home network today would be thinking about measurement from the very beginning in terms of how they measure their content, how they measure messages that they're putting up on screens.
A lot of companies will come to you and say that they can boil the ocean and do everything. And you need to do a ton of research around whether or not that's true.
You got to buy the right product for the job. So it's got to be commercial grade. The other thing is buying the product against your application. So if it's going outside, it's got to be high brightness. If it's in a 24/7 area, it's got to have 24/7 capability. The last thing, and it's size. Size does matter.
You really need to be thinking about the use case for your digital signage. Where is it going to be located? What are people doing around it? What might you use it for that could make that experience a little better?
Writing a good scope of work is the most important thing, so that way you have something to work off of and make sure that you have a checklist to work on as you're going through the process.
If you get all the stakeholders together and you decide what the objectives of your installation are before you install a screen, before you start talking about software, and before you actually put a hole in the wall, you will be very successful. But it's amazing how few people actually take that advice. It seems like common sense.
I think one of the most important things for success in building a digital signage network is the longevity of the content management software. It's important that you be able to expand that if you need, and should be robust enough to handle anywhere from 10 displays to 1,000.
At the end of the day, a monitor is a monitor, a player is a player, but you have to figure out what you want to display, who your audience is, and where would you like to take it today and 5 years from now, because you don't want to do a rip and replace a year down the road once you decide to expand the system.
Keep the human being in mind, I think, is probably the first thing. Really understand who your shopper is, what lights them up emotionally, and then deliver the technology that's going to help deliver on that very human aspect.